Good morning, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Degenerate Disseminator. Wow, that's the second episode in a row. I've just watched the name, the Degenerate Disseminators podcast. I'm your host, Jordan. First things first. Happy New Year, everyone. Hope you guys had a good time celebrating. Y'all didn't get too messed up this week. We took a couple days off. I had a few days off of work. I worked both Christmas and Thanksgiving, so I was just looking forward to having a holiday off, spending it with my friends and family. Wasn't really too focused on sports betting, and wasn't really that many games I liked, honestly, since Monday. And I do want to try and put out as many episodes as possible, especially it's our second month of doing the podcast. I want to try and put out more, but I'm not one to just bet on things because things are going on. If you're someone that does just bet on random stuff, don't. Happy New Year. And like I just said, we did finish our first month of the podcast. I know we don't really put up any crazy numbers either on Spotify or YouTube, but if you guys have stuck around for multiple episodes, if you guys tune in every morning that we upload, thank you. I know I promised to give you guys the tally for December, and I have it. So before I get into that, let's recap Monday's bets. We went 4-0. Oh no, I know. Sorry, that was last week. This week, Monday, we only had two picks. It's still 2-0. It's our third undefeated day of the month, and our first time doing it back to back, which is awesome. A nice little 6-0 streak there, and that was our fourth winning day in a row. We had two back-to-back 2-1 days. So in the last week's worth of episodes, we're sitting on a very nice 4, 6, 8, 10-2 run. That's awesome. So yeah, for the month of December, I'm not gonna lie, guys. I tried to count up how many units we were up. And I couldn't really get an accurate number, and I do sprinkle in a lot of personal bets in between episodes as well. So it was kind of tricky and time consuming to get the units. I know we ended up up on the month. I think it was around like 2 or 3 units if I had to guess. I know we did sprinkle in a lot of plus money stuff. So I'm just gonna throw in a placeholder of 2.5 units. We'll meet in the middle there. I think it could be more, but yeah, I know we're slightly up given those plus money bets we hit. But overall record 30-27 on the month. This is the thing. First of all, it's the first month of the podcast. I'm not really worried about it. And second of all, this was relatively a bad month for me, and we're still in the green. I know a lot of people have different styles of gambling and things like that. But me, I try to keep it very sustainable. And I kind of try to like bet for income. Like I try to play very safe and just build up over time. Like I showed you guys last week, we came off a horrible week. It was like a really bad 2 week stretch. I know 2 weeks ago we kind of rounded it off. That was the weekend we went to Tampa for UFC. But I know the week prior was pretty bad. And then we just go on a 4-day winning streak, going 10-2, up about 8 units, and yeah, that's really all I can say. Moving into January, NFL season's coming to a close. We're not gonna have as many games. We're kind of seeing very interesting patterns in both the NBA and NHL, so we're gonna keep hammering those away. Obviously, I will bet when it comes to NFL playoffs. But this is going to be an interesting month since I feel like we're going to have a lot less. Well, not really a lot less, but a decent amount of action missing. But we're going to keep the ball rolling. I can guarantee. Well, I don't want to say guarantee. You never know with sports betting, but I'm pretty confident in my ability to not go 30-27 in January. Probably going to slow it down a little bit and maybe not as many picks per day or per episode. I should say, but yeah. As far as win percentage, I'm trying to double that win percentage. I'm not gonna lie. Was a 30 out of 57. That's just slightly below 50%. I know, slightly above 50%. I'll take it. But yeah, definitely want to try and creep into that 60-70% range heading into January. And like I said, no football. There is college football today, for Friday. But I don't really like the games, and there's only two. I believe it's University of North Texas versus Texas State, I believe. Give me one moment while I look that up. But a lot of conflicting numbers I found. Not really any trends that I liked, like at all. And with these like smaller market schools, we see a lot of people entering the transfer portal, so these teams aren't really going to be at their best. Um, yeah, Texas State is catching 14 points as favorites. That number's just too high for me, and like I said, they're kind of smaller market teams, and I really don't know how many people are transferring. And then we look at Minnesota and Virginia Tech. This one's a tricky one. So, um, I use ESPN to like get all my like just like scores, things like that, and so I don't have to go on Hard Rock. This is where I get my opening lines. So Minnesota opened as 4.5 point favorites. It's jumped up to 9. But if we look at the matchup predictor, I'll show you guys if you're watching on YouTube. It's it's a 50-50 game according to ESPN analytics. Do I trust ESPN analytics like 100%? No, but if if it's a 50-50 game, how the fuck are you jumping 4.5 to 9 points? That doesn't make any sense to me. But it doesn't matter because I'm staying away from it. Um, Coming at you with 3 picks today. Two from the NBA, one from the NHL. Dana's a little busy tonight, so he gave me his pick. I will be giving it on his behalf. Um, didn't really look too deep into the numbers today. Kind of just or I'm sticking with teams that have been doing well for us. In the NBA especially, and Daniel seems pretty confident in his bet. So we're gonna start it off. First game of the night is gonna be the Hornets taking on the Pistons. They've met twice so far this year, both times in Charlotte. This is the first time it's in Detroit. Lines at 215, at least what I caught it at. In both games they've hit. Well, in the first game the total was 215, so push. So we'll call it 1-0-1 on the year against this number. And then in game two, I believe it was 143. And both of these games, Charlotte did win by one possession, one shot, whatever you want to call it. The first game it was 108 to 107. The next one was 123 to 120. Like I said, both in favor of Charlotte. I know Jaden Ivey just went out with a pretty nasty injury. I believe it's season ending. Don't quote me on that, but I know he's gonna be out for a long time. Sucks to see. I like Jaden Ivey. Wish nothing but a speedy recovery. But yeah. Neither of these teams are really good defensively, but they do show some decent outbursts on offense. I know he took a higher number with the Charlotte Hornets taking on the Wizards in Washington D.C. or wherever. I don't even know where the arena is. I'm not gonna lie, but I feel like I know they were talking about relocating or something, but it was a road game and they smashed it. So I kind of like these like lower tier teams that really don't have any defensive strategies really, but kind of just go out there and try to put up a lot of points. And like I said, 215 is kind of that number where no matter really who is playing, I will definitely look into it. And considering they both hit this number, well, in both games that they played, they've hit or pushed this number. I think it's a steal at minus 110 for 1.1 units. Then moving on to our second NBA game. This one's at 8:30. Looking at the Cavs taking on the Mavericks in Dallas. I believe the Mavericks are on a 3-game losing streak. They're missing Luka Doncic for, I think, until February, like early Feb, probably about a month from now. And yeah, I mean, I really like the Mavericks team. I know people like to say, oh well, the Heat Mavericks rivalry. I was rooting for them last year in the playoffs, and when they went to the finals. I love the team. I love Luka Doncic. I love him getting paired up with Kyrie Irving. It's a really fun team to watch when they are at full strength. But when he's not there, this is a very different team. Um, I think Kyrie Irving is capable of a lot of great things, but I just don't think he is the same player he was, 4 or 5 years ago. And I've talked about how great this Cavaliers team is against the spread. I don't feel like going back into the numbers. It's 1 in the morning. I believe we took them 2 or 3 episodes ago. The numbers are there, and they've continued to hit the spread, especially on the road as well. And when Kyrie Irving's not on the floor, this Cavaliers team's gonna have all the advantage in the world. I think down the stretch, they blow them out by more than 6 points. And once again, it's at a steal here, minus 110 for 1.1 units. And that's gonna do it for basketball. Let me take a sip of this drink really quick before we get into Daniel's hockey pick. Alrighty, I'm refreshed now. So this is according to Daniel. He told me his pick was going to be the Ottawa Senators money line against the Blues on the road. They did just play the Stars tonight, so it's the second night of a back-to-back, which I did bring up to Daniel. He said he's not phased. Yeah, he didn't really give me any notes on it, but Daniel has been running hot in hockey, especially on his side bets too, which he did give me a couple here. So for that game, he gave me a Brady Tkachuk over half a goal, and Jake Sanderson over 0.5 assists. But those are not official plays. That are just Daniel's typical side bets he gives on our episodes. And yeah, that's gonna do it. Like I said, we're still gonna be putting out episodes, but as the NFL and college football comes to an end, we're not really gonna be forcing any action. These are just the games that stuck out to us. So for a quick recap, we're taking the Cavs -6 against the Mavericks for 1.1 units. We're taking over 215 points for the Hornets at the Pistons. And then the Senators money line, while they take on the Blues on the road. And I did forget to specify that is -120 for 1.2 units. So we're going to be having 3.3 units in play on the day. And hopefully we can start the new year off on the right foot, go 3-0 and 3 units up. And we will catch you guys in the next one. Bye.